Evening, all of you in this classroom. First of all, I would like to thank the Government of India, UGC, Human Resource Development, along with the Human Resource Development Center, AMU, Aligarh, for sponsoring such an important online program on how to develop e-content for teaching, because that's very important for the present time. As we have seen during the pandemic, that this was the only medium of rescue and getting connected to students. So, and this is the 21st century, and this 21st century is grounded in technology. Everyone has got a smartphone, and everyone more or less is a technology engineered person nowadays. So I'll thank the director, Dr. Faiza Abbasi, who was so good that though she was sick, she came and she joined us today in the session. Coming to the assignment that was given to us, I have taken the sonnet of Shakespeare. How I teach in the class the sonnet of Shakespeare. Sonnet is a small poem of 14 lines. It has been taken from Italy. It had been imported from Italy. It started with Dante and Petrarch in Italy, who wrote sonnets to their beloveds. It was a small poem as a gift given to the beloved to please her, and later by Thomas Yat and Surrey it was imported to England. After that Italian sonnet, Petrarchan sonnet model, Shakespeare brought the new model of Shakespearean sonnet, which is known as English sonnet, and I have selected sonnet number 18 for it. As the very word implies, that sonnet means a sound in which you have to express a single idea. And in this 14 lines, the poet starts with his feelings and then comes to the conclusion in the last 2 lines, that is in the couplet. The poem goes like that, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's leaves have all too short a date. The poet wants to compare his beloved to a summer's day, because summers in England is very pleasant. It's moderate. It's neither very hot nor very cold. It's moderate. So that is the best thing to which he can compare to his beloved. And when he starts comparing, he says, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate, but you are more beautiful than the summer and more temperate than the summer. You are more moderate than the summer. Why? Because in summers, what he says, in summers what happens? Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's leaves hath all too short a date. In summers also there are days when wind is rough and it destroys the darling buds of May, the buds which have just come out, it destroys it. And sometimes what happens, that summer's leaves have all too short a date. Even if the summer is very beautiful, its leaves, its span is very short, it doesn't live for a long time. So that beauty also gets destroyed very soon. Then further he says, sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed. If I compare you to the summer, then also sometimes in summer what happens? Sometimes the sun is very hot, the eye of heaven shines very brightly, it hurts to some extent, and sometimes, often its gold complexion dims. Sometimes it becomes cloudy and the gold complexion of the atmosphere gets dimmed. Again, he says, and every fair from fair sometimes declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. And in nature what happens? Every fair from fair sometimes decline. Every fair thing, every beautiful thing, one day or the other, it will decline. It will die. It will get destroyed. So every fair from fair sometime decline, by chance or by nature's changing course untrimmed. By chance means either accidentally it will get destroyed, or by nature's changing course, or because this is the truth of nature, that anything that is born will live and will die. It will constantly keep on changing. So because of this truth of nature, untrimmed means you cannot change it. So by nature's changing course untrimmed, which cannot be changed, all the beautiful things, all the good things, all the strong things, all majestic buildings, everything will destroy one or the other day. Then the poet further says, but thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of the fair thou ovest. The poet very confidently says, but your eternal summer, he's praising his beloved, he says, your eternal beauty shall not fade, nor ever you will lose the beauty that you possess. How is it possible? Further, he will give the conclusion in the couplet. He says, I am making you in such a way and depicting you in such a way that your summer, your beauty is not like the beauty of this world. It is eternal, it is permanent. And whatever you possess, whatever beauty, the virtues that you possess will always remain the same. So, thou eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose its possession what thou ovest, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. What he's saying, nor shall death be able to brag that you are wandering under its shade. Everyone knows that death is the supreme awe. Nobody can escape death. Everything that is born will die. So death brags that he can destroy everyone. But the poet says that death won't have any control over my beloved. Death shall not be able to brag, to boast that my beloved is wandering under its shadow. Because in these eternal lines, in these sonnets, I shall make my beloved grow eternal. I shall make her permanent. We all know in another poem, in another work that is in Tempest, Shakespeare himself says, we are such stuff as dreams are made on, and a little life is rounded with a sleep. We are such stuff, our material is such, we are made of such material as dreams are made on. And just as dreams are very true, but the moment your eyes open, you see that it's nothing. It's airy. Similarly, this life appears to be very true, but once it's destroyed, nothing remains. So he says, death has got its power over everything, it destroys everything, and a life is rounded with eternal sleep. But the poet is so confident in his poem, in his sonnet, that through these lines he'll challenge death. He will fight against death and make his beloved permanent forever. So the beloved will become eternal in these two lines, in these sonnets. She grows. In all these 154 collected sonnets of Shakespeare, he has spoken about his beloved and love, and through his love he is going to make her permanent. And in the couplet he says, so long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. What he says, so long as men can breathe, as long as humanity exists, as long as men are breathing, so long lives this. Till that time, my beloved is going to be alive. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this. So long lives the beauty of my beloved. So long lives this, and this gives life to thee. And it is my poems, my lines, which is giving life to you, which is making you eternal. This worldly summer is very short spanned. It will get destroyed. All the beauties will get destroyed. But the beloved of my heart, she will always remain permanent. So in a way we can see the poet is no more now. The beloved is no more now, but this book is in my hand. We are reading it, we are listening to it, and the coming generation will also read these sonnets. So through these sonnets, through these lines, through art, he has made his beloved permanent. So this is a very beautiful sonnet, and here we have seen that it is a Shakespearean sonnet. It has got a special rhyming scheme. The rhyming scheme is A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, G, G. Now what is this A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D? A, B, A, B means the first line is rhyming with the third, the second line is rhyming with the fourth. A, B, A, B. Then C, D, C, D. E, F, E, F. G, G. G, G means the last couplet. The end of the couplet is ending with the same word. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. So this is the couplet. And in this poem, we see with this rhyming scheme that it's a beautiful lyric, it's lyrical, it's also dramatic. It is as if the poet is in a monologue, he's talking, he's acting in a way. So it's lyrical, it's dramatic, the language is very simple, the images are really vivid. The way he has talked about summer, it appears that we are seeing summer with our own eyes, and the tone of confidence that he has got in his love and for the beauty of his beloved is excellent. So this is a, you can say, a superb poem or sonnet of Shakespeare. Now this is the way how I teach in the class, but inspired by Dr. Alam and Dr. Kiran Chaudhary, who had given their lectures today, and they had taught that how we can use the templates to make our work more interesting. I have tried to use these templates so that this work goes in the mind, in the imagination of the students forever, and so that this short term course has a long term effect or impact on the students. So thank you very much.